Hi, Group 3. It's about algebraic fractions, your worst nightmare fractions. But it's kind of like a puzzle, I would say. So maybe it will be better experience this time compared to primary school. So over here, we need to change it to bracket form. Will be the best way out. So, at first. So that you can cancel one top from one bottom and then write down the remainder at the end. The same for this one. We have 4 times m times m times m. Right? Negative 12 times m times m times m times m. So you can cut 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. 4 and 12 can be further simplified to 1 and 3. So we have 1 on the top, negative 3 at the bottom with an extra m on it. Question C, I'm going to use the advanced way. So what we can do is 10 and 8 divided by 2 each number. 10 divided by 2 is 5, 8 divided by 2 is 4. Now x, single x on the top, 2x at the bottom. So if you try to cancel it, this one remains at the bottom. Maybe just write it first so you don't forget. 5 over 4, 1x remains at the bottom. For the y, if there are 5 y's on the top, 2 at the bottom, 5 minus 2 is 3, right? So at the top should be 3, at the bottom is gone. So on the top is y cubed. You can go again the advanced way. We have 10 over 8, but you have to write a lot. X times y times y times y over x times y times y. Oh wait, there's 5 on the top. So we cancel 1 pair, 2 pair, 1 pair here. This is 5, this is 4. So let's write down what we have remaining. 5 times y times y times y will be y to the power of 3 over 4, a single x at the bottom. So it's the same answer. I prefer you go for the advanced way. It's going to save you a lot of time. So let's find another question. So classwork 2, for example. Example 2. Bracket basically means a factor, right? So you can consider the whole thing. You cannot cut it like this. So don't go like XX inside the bracket. You can't cut a single term inside the bracket. You need to treat the bracket as a whole group. So this bracket has 2 of it on the top. So let me expand it, show you how it looks like. X plus 7 square is x plus 7 times x plus 7 over 2 times x plus 7. So if you cut it, 1 each from the top and bottom, you will end up with x plus 7 on the top divided by 2. So over here is actually, this one becomes 1 and this is cut off. Now over here, you gotta be careful for the minus one. It's not the same when you swap it. So if you wanna swap, let's say q and 1, you wanna make q a negative, 1 a positive, you gotta factorize the negative. So we put an extra negative in front of p power 6, not in front of the bracket, because that would change it to p power 6 minus the bracket. So you want it to be still times p power 6 times the bracket. So you put the negative in the front. So now you can swap them. 1 becomes positive and q becomes negative, negative q. Divided by p power 2, 1 minus q. So now you can cut this bracket with this. 6 and 2, 6 minus 2 will be 4. And this will be gone. So what remains will be negative p to the power of 4. Oh yeah, they even put a bracket here. A cloud over there to help you. And then example 3, this is another type of question where you will have to use factorization. So on the top, you can factorize m. Now you can see that you cannot cancel anything, right? You can't do this. So a lot of people try to do this, a single letter. You cannot, it has to be in the bracket, n times m, for example. Then you can, and this one also has to be in the bracket, so n times 9, for example. Then you can cut it. But if it's plus like that, 2 different terms, you cannot selectively cancel like that. It gotta be in a bracket, whole bracket, then cancel. So you gotta factorize m first. You would have n plus 1, right? You know factorization. This will be 1 plus n. So you will see that n plus 1 and 1 plus n are in a bracket and they're actually the same. You can just swap these two because they're plus. If it's minus, you cannot really swap. You have to factorize it. So if it's plus, it's the same thing. 1 plus 2 is equals to 2 plus 1, right? And finally, you have m over 9. So question B, same thing. I have nothing in common. You can't cancel like this. Cannot. Do not do that. Cannot cancel minus also. You gotta change it to a bracket form before you cancel or cut. Yeah, it's not called cancel. It's actually called simplification or cut. Factorize 5 on the top. It will be x minus 2y. 10 divided by 5 is 2, right? Divided by, at the bottom, I can factorize 7 and then x. So there's 2x here, 1x remaining, minus 14 divided by 7 is 2, x is gone, so we have y. You will notice that this bracket is the same as the bottom. That's why this question came out. 5 divided by 7x, and that's how you simplify this one. So it doesn't look obvious at first that you can cut something, but if you factorize it, then it's going to be obvious to you. All right, most likely I'm not going to give identities yet. I think there's quite a lot to handle already with factorization, so I'm going to stop here in the lesson. And that's it. Good luck. Bye.